Hey everybody, welcome back to my modern homestead. Whether you're new or whether you're turning, we welcome you. Today we have Alyssa with us. So we're going to do a fun family recipe that we have been doing ever since these children, Alyssa and her brother, were little bitty. So we are doing our cream cheese cutout sugar cookies today, and we're going to bring you along. This is actually a video that's going to be 2 parts in one. We're going to do the first part today because once we get the dough ready, it has to stay in the refrigerator at least overnight. So we're going to do that part, and then we'll come back tomorrow and finish it up because I actually have agreed to make some cookies for someone else this year. We're going to bless them. And I'm going to bring you along to show you how to do it. These cookies, oh, y'all, they are amazing. I love these cookies. Alyssa, are these cookies good?
Very good.
Yes, they're very good. Okay, so let's hop down here, take a look at what we got, and get them put together. Y'all, this smells so good. And I'll tell you why. It's the almond extract. Oh my goodness. It makes these cookies smell amazing and taste amazing. But let me go through and tell you what we're going to work with. We have 1 8-ounce block of cream cheese, 1.5 cups of sugar, and I trusted Alyssa to measure this out, so let's hope it's right. Then we have 1 cup of salt of oh my goodness, 1 cup of all unsalted butter. We have 1 egg, and it's rolling around here somewhere because I just saw it. And remember, you want these as close to room temperature as possible. Then we have a teaspoon of vanilla, and this is my homemade vanilla, and 1/2 teaspoon of almond extract, 3.5 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and that's all of our ingredients. So I'm going to let Alyssa get them ready. She's going to put everything in here and prepare it as I tell you what we're going to do. The first thing we're going to do is in our bowl combine the sugar, butter, cream cheese, salt, and the extracts and the egg. So everything but the flour. And Alyssa, I had somebody on my last video. You need a spatula to scrape it out.
Mm-hmm.
They said to go ahead and cream the egg with the sugar. I've never had a problem putting this all together, but just for the sake of that, why don't we just go ahead and put the egg in with the sugar and make everybody happy. Let me grab the spatula while you're doing that.
I can see my shoes.
Those aren't shoes.
I can see my socks and my socks.
Crocs and socks. Okay, so we're just going to raise up the bowl. Oh, lock it in. Let me scoot y'all up where you can see what's going on. And here we go. We're just going to start mixing that together. There's 1 stick of butter. You want to do it? I'll tell you what, you go ahead and open the cream cheese. Can you do that with your nails? Just another stick of butter. Almond extract. Vanilla extract. Baking soda. And salt. We can stop this mixer if you need to pour that in. All right. We'll get that mixed in. These are such an easy cookie to mix up. And I'll go ahead and tell you, if you're going to do these, you will have to let them chill. They don't do well if you don't let them chill. Look how beautifully that creams up. Excellent. Now we're just going to slowly add in the flour. You can actually turn this down just a little bit. Huh?
You gotta get on the edge.
Okay, add in some more. Turn it this way because I'm about to spill out the side. We're getting this done right before we work on supper. So I'm telling you, you guys, if you've got all your ingredients pulled out, this comes together in literally just minutes. I mean, it's been, what, 7 minutes and we're almost done. Once we get it all mixed up, we're just going to wrap it up.
This is great.
Just gonna stop it and scrape it down a little bit. But yeah, when we get it all mixed up, we'll just wrap it up into a disc and let it chill. Okay. Woo! Sorry, Alyssa. I got it. You gotta let it go. Sorry about that. That's all there is to it. Oops. I always turn that knob the wrong way. I'm just going to scrape down the sides one last time. Let it go for just a couple of seconds. And that'll be it. All right, let's get some plastic wrap and get this turned out. Okay, I'm just getting the rest of this off of the spatula. There we go. Set this off to the side. And let's put down a piece of saran wrap right here, or any brand. I'll go ahead and tear it. Okay. And we'll just dump this out onto the plastic. You know what? It's been so long since I've done these cookies, I forgot. I do this in half. I put half in one disc and half in another disc. So I'm going to take some of this back off. That's about half. Okay. And I just take my wrap, fold it over. It's so soft, it's warm in here. Fold that over. And this way, when you do it in a disc like this, or square, whatever shape, it doesn't matter. Just as long as it's thin, that way when you take it out, it's not quite so hard to roll out. And You can get it done before your dough warms up too quick, because you want your dough to stay chilled to cut these out. So there we go. It's ready for the fridge. All we have to do is do the second half of the dough. Here we go, into the fridge. Now, I will say, when you're ready to cut these out, a lot of times I will even cut these in half and just work with half a piece of dough, and that way I'll keep the other piece of dough chilled. It works even better. So whatever works for you, but we'll come back tomorrow and finish these up. Okay, y'all, it's the next day, and we're about to get the dough out of the refrigerator and get it rolled out. But first, hair up, apron on, because this can get messy. All right, let's get down to business. You want to make sure you start with a nice clean counter, because this is where you're going to roll out your cookie dough. Just clean it really well. I'm using my trusty Shackley cleaner. There's the oven. It's preheated to 350 degrees. Now, as I said before, when I put these in the refrigerator, I like to work in small batches so that the dough stays nice and cold while you're rolling out and cutting. That's very, very important with these cookies. So I'm going to cut this dough in half. Doesn't have to be exact. And then we'll leave the other half of the dough in the refrigerator while we work. Let's sprinkle a little flour. The rolling pin's wanting to roll way too soon. And don't be afraid of the flour with these. You need kind of a heavier coat so that this dough does not stick to your counter. And then you want to roll it out to about 1/4 inch thin. As you can see, it is a sticky dough, so keep everything well floured. Okay, put a little flour here to dip the cookie cutter in. And we've got 12, so I'm going to do 2 of each size. And when you cut it, put it directly onto the baking sheet. If you have the silicone mats, they work better because the corners won't lift like that. But if you don't have one, use what you got. And for us, it's parchment paper. Uh-oh, I didn't flour well enough. In a case like this, just go under it with a spatula. Go and keep going. Okay, so we got 7 cookies out of that first cutting. This extra dough, you can take it and roll it up one more time. I wouldn't do more than one because it gets too much flour in it and your cookies aren't as nice. Get up all this extra dough there. Spread that flour out really well. Ball this dough up again. And you can roll it out one more time. But it does get super soft, super easy. That's excellent. So we got 10 out of this first roll, and I think that's actually going to be the smallest batch. That will be awesome. Shh, don't tell anybody. I'm going to squeeze one more cookie out of this. There we go. Okay. Voila. So make that 11 cookies out of this batch. Okay, we'll continue with this second half of that dough, and then we'll be right back. Okay, there's one pan, and here's the other pan. Now we're going to cook these for 7 to 10 minutes in a 350-degree oven, just until the edges start turning brown. You don't want the whole cookie to get dark because then it's too done and it will be crunchy. And it's okay that you have a few little perfections in these. These are just going to be decorated cookies. She just wanted some cut out so that they could decorate them. And they're cookies. They're not going to be perfect anyway. Okay, first pan is out of the oven. And let me show you. These little snowflakes, see how they're really brown on the edges? That's actually too done. But what we want to do is leave them here for just a few minutes to cool, and then we're going to move them over to a cooling rack. So while these are cooling off a little bit, I'm going to get the second pan in the oven. Okay, let's pull these off of the pan. It only takes a few minutes. You just want them cool enough that they can keep their shape when you pick them up, and just move them over to the cooling rack. Oh, I hope the family loves these. They've got some little children as well as a couple older children. When I say older, like teenage adolescents. I'm excited to do this for them. They got hit really hard with the hurricane. So I'm glad to do something fun for them. There we go. Just waiting on the second pan. While that second batch is cooking, I'm rolling out some of this other dough. If you can find peppermint dusting sugar or finishing sugar, y'all, this is what I love to do with my cookies. Peppermint pairs with these cookies so well. I'm guessing it's the cream cheese in them, but I like to sprinkle them as I'm rolling them out to press the sugar into it. Y'all, this makes these cookies so good. So we do it just like that. Give it a little roll to press it in. I'm telling y'all, this would be so good. But I'll tell you what else would be good. They make finishing sugars now in different flavors. Mix it up and try those. I bet those are just as amazing as the peppermint. But the peppermint with these is just my favorite. They're so good. So there we go. They're ready to be cut out. Second pan is done, and the third pan is almost ready to go into the oven. Look how pretty. One reason I really love this recipe and these cookies is that they hold their shape and they don't puff up and spread out. That's so important with a cutout sugar cookie. You want it to look like it's supposed to look when you take it out of the oven. And a lot of cookies, they will puff up too much and spread too much. So there's a plus for this recipe. Okay, we have 2 minutes left on the last pan of cookies, and we have everything cleaned up except for this. Y'all watch out, a new recipe's coming. I'm hoping it's going to be outstanding, and this is for something I've got to cook for tomorrow night. But see, you really can get it done and cleaned up that fast. Okay, so just a word to the wise. On these, we use the hot chocolate finishing sugar just to try it. But as you can see, it does look like black pepper. So it'll taste good. It might just look funny, but hey, cover it with some icing. You'll never know. And I decided to try to get a little creative on that one. I thought I would make it look like baby Jesus wrapped in swaddling clothes. Okay, y'all. There we go. Our cookies are all done. So I thought I would show you what they look like and what they taste like. Hold on. Well, I can't show you what they taste like, but we'll taste one together. Okay, now I already know what the ones with the peppermint sprinkles taste like, so I thought we would try this one with just the hot cocoa sprinkles. This is what they look like. They're soft. They're not crunchy. Now, if they're thin, I'll be back. I'm sorry, y'all. I had to eat the rest of that cookie. It was so good. I just wanted to say, if you cut them really thin, the outsides will be a little crunchy around the edges if you don't cook them too long. Remember what I told you, pull them out before they start turning brown on the edges, because if they start turning brown on the edges, they're too done. But they're so soft in the middle. See how that just breaks? They're so good, y'all. These just melt like a good dinner mint in your mouth. You guys, thank you so much for joining me again today. You know, I love it when you come and spend a few minutes with me. So until we meet again, may you be blessed. Love you guys. Bye-bye.